Yep, we promised you tech, and here he is. Mr. Tech is here. Grant Hines is here.
Mr. Tech.
Mr. Tech himself.
Mr. Tech.
Our tech head, and we love him for it. So we're focusing on gaming right now, and probably one of the biggest gaming titles ever in the world, Horizon Zero Dawn. One of the biggest PlayStation titles ever, undoubtedly. And now the sequel, Horizon Forbidden West, is out, and apparently it's really, 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 really good.
Look, if you enjoy Horizon Zero Dawn, you're going to love Forbidden West. And here's the thing.
First tick.
Okay, so yeah, a lot of people don't really actually know this genre, well, know this series.
Okay.
Maybe you missed out. It came out of the Zero Dawn came out on PS4, so maybe you didn't have a PS4, but you saw pictures of it. But it is this incredible experience where you play a character called Aloy, and Aloy is, you know, it's actually set in the future. It looks like it's set in the past, but it's set in...
There's tech there.
There's a lot of tech. So imagine society collapsed in some capacity, and technology became sentient and lived on its own and started to evolve into creatures in and around the world.
In its own way. Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah, so that's the premise. That's the world that it's built in. And obviously, that's a really exciting one. And the people in the world don't know that yet. And they are busy... Aloy as a character, your character, is discovering this as she goes through this world. That was Zero Dawn. I don't want to give too much away in the next story, but for Forbidden West.
Sure,
but they've taken that and they're taking it to another place. It's an open world game.
Okay.
So you can get to explore
have some fun.
This huge open world. And because the story is so compelling, it has been in the last one, they've worked out ways to really tell that story better. I found in the first one, it feels a little bit dated. You know, the voice actors are talking like this all the time. Like static robots and static camera shots. But now, in Forbidden West, they've got some really big actors, and that's one of the things that I was really excited. Angela Bassett's in it. And Carrie-Anne Moss, obviously Carrie-Anne Moss from The Matrix.
The Matrix, oh wow.
So having these great, this great acting chops really just lends itself to making the story a little bit more emotionally invested.
All of this being said, what was it about this title that made it so successful, and have they been able to deliver on that promise? Because obviously there's going to be an expectation from the fans.
Of course. Okay, so it's an open world game. You can roam wherever you want to. And what made it so compelling, I would say, are two different things. Firstly, it's a very unique world that you're living in and playing in.
It's just beautiful
there's no other game like this setting with these kinds of monsters. I say monsters, they're all these
Some of them
robots.
are beautiful creatures, yeah.
They look a little bit like Transformers, and what makes Transformers also appealing is that sound, that crunch, how ominous they are. And they've made these creatures, these robotic creatures, sound organic and scary, and they do such a good job of it, which is great. And then obviously open world games, being able to rank up, there's like a role-playing element, like harvesting parts of like plants in the environments, and you know, being able to do that is great. So I think
it's holistic. There's just a lot going on.
Yeah, and there's many hours, tens of hours. I say tens of thousands of hours. Tens of hours of gameplay to enjoy, and then a whole brand new world just to get your teeth sunk into.
This seems quite accessible. Who's it for? Would I be able to play this with my 5-year-old, 10-year-old, 15-year-old, 18-year-old, myself?
Look, it depends on the kind of games, and this game is a little bit complicated control-wise. That's actually kind of like my criticism if you are a younger gamer, but kids are really smart. So like,
my son has surpassed my ability with the controller already, and he's 4.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's that. For the most part, it's pretty family-friendly from a content perspective. It's kind of like a fantasy setting, and there's the violence is around. There's no like violence. There's no action. There's more the action around the robots.
The meta stuff. Yeah.
So that's cool. There's a whole lot of political tribal drama that's also happening, because all of these different people groups are in tribes in and around this world, which is also really fascinating. But I'd say this is
Vikings in an amazing world.
So I would say maybe for teenagers this is a great game. If it's too young, it'd actually probably be a bit boring for kids, to be honest. But for adults and people who want to get into
cerebral,
you want to get into the story. Like that's a great way. Transformers and Vikings. You actually nailed it.
That's when I was a teen, I discovered my love of fantasy, and I think this kind of almost seems to embody so much of what I loved about being able to sink myself into that fantastical world. Absolutely love it, dude, and it looks beautiful.
Yeah, and look, PlayStation 5, it's stunning. It's also available it's available on PlayStation 4 as well.
Great.
Obviously, the performance on a PlayStation 5 is a lot better, and I think that's the place you'd actually want to play it. I actually know some people who are waiting, who are waiting waiting to get their PlayStation 5s, but those are the only two mediums it's on. So it's either PS4 or PS5.
Out of 10?
I'd say a good solid 9, hey? This is a good game.
That is impressive. Horizon Zero Dawn, one of the
Forbidden West,
rather, is going to be one of the biggest titles of the year. If you've got a PS5, get your hands on it now. Maybe wait a little bit if you don't, but it looks like it's going to be just as popular, if not more, than the first. Beautiful stuff, man. Thank you so much.